Hi, I'm the Tabletop Teacher, and in this video we're going to unbox a brick of Star Trek Heroclix Away Team, the original series, courtesy of WizKids. This set of characters is modern age legal, so you can play them with your favorite Heroclix characters from the DC or Marvel universes, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Undead. This set is something entirely different than the Star Trek Tactics 4 series. You cannot mix the Tactics ships with these away team characters on the same force, but you could very well create a scenario that alternates between the two. One game in space with Tactics ships, the next game on the ground with the away team characters, and then back in space for a final battle. Why not? Okay, so what do we find in the first booster? Lieutenant Kyle, a Romulan lieutenant, Tribbles, an Orion female, and a rare Klingon commander. 50 points, 5 clicks, starts with running shot, willpower, and leadership, and a healing trait that has a 50-50 chance of healing a friendly adjacent character, or one that simply has the Klingon keyword that just hit an opposing character with an attack. This will make a very interesting support figure that could also hold its own in a fight. He has the Klingon Empire team ability, which is different than the Star Trek Tactics team ability of the same name, by the way. After this character hits an opposing character with an attack roll of 10, 11, or a critical hit, you remove an action token from this character. A solid figure. In the second booster, we find, Trelane, along with a Klingon lieutenant, a Tellarite, Yeoman Rand, and a rare Romulan sub-commander. There's a rare and a super rare in this booster. Trelane was a fabulous character. Turns out he's of the Q continuum if my sources are correct. His traits remind me of Mr. Mxyzptlk from the Superman Wonder Woman set. At the beginning of the game, you roll a d6 that you place on his card, and whenever a character rolls an attack roll, you may replace one of the dice with whatever die Trelane has on his card. It doesn't have to be within range or line of fire. This is very powerful. You'll need a power action to get another die on the card after you've done that. He's not a strong attacker. The die replacement concept is why you'd be getting Trelane on your force, but the super senses and stop click should help keep him on the board for a spell. In booster number 3, we get a Romulan Centurion, a Starfleet security officer, Nurse Chapel, Beale, and CHARVANEK. She is a title character. That's a nice surprise. Wow, look at that dial! The Romulan Empire team ability gives her stealth on top of starting with sidestep, 11 attack with penetrating psychic blast, 18 defense with mastermind, 3 damage with probability control. She's indomitable and has 8 clicks of life. She gets plot points for using a perplex variant, which she can only use on opposing characters. Careful with that though. If you use it and she didn't or doesn't attack on that turn, CHARVANEK will be dealt 1 unavoidable damage. At some point, with enough plot points, she can bring into play a character with the Romulan keyword from your sideline. That's nuts! Let's say she managed to get 5 plot points. You could give her a free action and spend the 5 plot points to take the Romulan sub-commander from the sideline and place it in the starting area, within 6 squares in line of fire of CHARVANEK. Wow, I mean, it won't be easy to pull off, but that's amazing. In the fourth booster, we get a Telosian, more Tribbles, Mr. Scott, a Romulan lieutenant, and the M113 creature, also called the Salt Vampire. That was a very memorable episode, as is this Heroclix figure. Exploit weakness and super senses on each of the dial's 7 clicks, with traded shape change of course, steal energy of course, and a trait that heals the creature 1 click when an opposing character fails to break away, plus that character that failed to break away is dealt 1 damage. Very nice representation of that character in clicks form, I love it. In booster number 5, another Trek monster, a Mugato. Along with a Klingon Beck, that's the Klingon equivalent of a crewman, a Klingon lieutenant, a Romulan commander, and Korax. For 60 points, the Mugato sure has a lot of clicks, but you can also play it at 40 points. A pretty new player-friendly figure overall. Leap climb, toughness, and the same special power on every click that gives an action token to an opposing character that Mugato hit with a close attack. And if that character has 2 action tokens, damage dealt is penetrating. Leap Climb will make it easier to base an opposing range character, and being indomitable, perhaps attack it on the following turn. Not bad at all, especially for that point cost. In the 6th booster, we get 4 figures we've already pulled, and a super rare Charlie X. 40 points for probability control, 6 range that can do 3 damage is pretty good. The kicker is when you miss Charlie X with an attack. When that happens, the attacker is dealt its own printed damage, as long as Charlie X was the only target. With a 17 defense, Charlie X is not hard to hit, but that's why the probability control is so interesting here. In booster number 7, we get a couple more common generics, plus an Andorian we haven't seen before, Dr. McCoy, and a Horta. Wow, this thing is brutal. It can move through blocking terrain and destroy it as it does. That's part of its special speed power, along with sidestep and a move and attack option. After a move action of 5 squares or less, Horta can make a close attack, but only if it's adjacent to a square of blocking terrain. Might be a good idea to pair it with a character that can use barrier. This thing is quick. Exploit weakness on the whole dial that starts with 4 damage, poison on the whole dial as well, great defense values and powers, plus a stop click. Can't wait to play this one. In booster number 8, we find 3 commons including Ensign Chekhov, a Klingon captain, and Mr. Spock. The United Federation of Planets team ability gives a +1 to speed when Mr. Spock is given a move action. His trait is intriguing, or perhaps I should say fascinating. You give Spock a free action and you choose a friendly character that's close by, within 4 squares in line of fire. Now, that character's next attack roll will either be a critical miss or a 7. The thing is, this cannot be rerolled, and you have an almost 17% chance of getting a critical miss. A little later on the dial, the Vulcan Nerve Pinch will give an action token to an opposing character Spock hit with a close attack, along with charge, combat reflexes, and exploit weakness on that 3rd click. Very nice. In booster number 9, we pull Lokai, some figures we've seen, and Mr. Spock from the Mirror Universe. Cool. Oh, the Mirror Universe team ability works just like Mystics. And wow, that Agony Booth trait is powerful. It's a fantastic barrier variant. If an opposing character is adjacent to 4 of these barrier markers, you roll a d6, and that's how much penetrating damage is dealt to that character. Wouch. 100 points, very good starting combat values, and all sorts of powers throughout the dial. This is going to be an extremely fun piece to play. Okay, one last chance for a chase here, and nope, not this time. But we do find Lieutenant Sulu and Lieutenant DHURA, which we didn't have yet. This is a Kirkless brick. DHURA has a trait that will be good against teams that have at least one copyable team ability. At the beginning of the game, you choose one such team ability, and then friendly adjacent characters, or characters with the Starfleet keyword, can use it as well. She also has a fantastic Perplex variant with 10 range that can see through everything but characters. Wow, this is a solid support figure. Well, that was a fun brick. It brought back all sorts of great memories of watching Star Trek reruns on Sunday mornings. Yeah, I'm that age. It makes me want to watch these again. We got all the commons with several duplicates. I would have preferred more duplicates of the generic characters. I know, I say this with almost every brick. We're missing 2 of the uncommons with 4 duplicates. A little trading should take care of that. 8 rares, that's more than I expected. So glad I got the Horta, the Salt Vampire, and Mirror Universe Spock. 3 super rares, including a very interesting title character, but no chase figure. Not every brick's gonna have one, hence the name. This is what the booster distribution was like. Any figure in particular you're hoping for? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and good luck with your unboxing. Make sure to like this video, support the channel on Patreon, subscribe to the Tabletop Teacher, and as always, thanks for unboxing with me.